So obviously conference championship week. First up, we got SEC championship, pretty big game. Georgia and LSU. What are you guys thinking about that game?
Yeah, Georgia and LSU, two really good teams. LSU so far undefeated. Georgia, I think, has one loss. LSU's looking kind of unbeatable right now, but I don't know too much about the players, but just their record alone shows a lot.
Yeah, I agree with Zach on that. LSU, Joe Burrow, I believe he's going to lead them to victory this week. I don't think Georgia has anything to stop their offense.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, otherwise known as GOAT. Just a great guy right there.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree with you guys on that one. I'm calling an upset by Georgia. I think that they're going to rise to the challenge this week, and they're going to take down the undefeated LSU.
See, I'm going to have to disagree with your disagreement there, bud. I don't think so. I think LSU, man, they're looking unbeatable, and I think they're going to roll through the playoffs.
I don't know, I've always rooted for the underdog, so at least, yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, it should be a really great game. LSU, one of the best offenses in the country, taking on that really strong Georgia defense. I think it's really more about if Jake Fromm and Georgia can get the offense going. LSU obviously got a lot of talent on defense, but they've been kind of struggling in a couple games, giving up some high points. But let's move on to the Big 12 championship. After that, we got Oklahoma and Baylor, rematch of a great game from early in the season when the Sooners came back from a 25-point deficit. What are you guys thinking about that game?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's going to lose big on that one. Came back from a 25-point deficit on the first one. You just can't let that happen again. Baylor's going to go up big early, and I don't think they're going to stop.
Yeah, Baylor's not going to let that one happen again. I mean, they put up so many points in the first half and just broke down. And you know they're going to be working on that this week about finishing everything. So you know in practice they're going to be going hard. They're going to be doing 4 quarters of everything. I can't see Oklahoma. I can't see them winning this one.
Couldn't agree more. I got the Baylor Bears.
I think it should definitely be a good game. Two great teams, obviously, both fighting for that last playoff spot. Hopefully, both teams know they got to have an impressive performance to kind of hop over Utah and get that last spot, assuming Utah gets the W. Perfect move on. We'll move on to the Pac-12.
Little segue there.
So I didn't get to hear your opinion about it.
Yeah, us three all had Baylor. Can I get your personal opinion on that game?
I got Jalen Hurts and the boys leading Oklahoma big, like 45-10 or something right there.
Wow.
Oklahoma defense going to step up again. They've been playing better, especially last week. Oklahoma State, great showing. I think that Sooners are going to continue that momentum into the Big 12 championship game, prove something to the committee, and get that 4th playoff spot.
That's bold.
I do agree with that, though. They did play some great defense last week on Chuba Hubbard and the Oklahoma State team. So you never know, but I still have Baylor winning this game.
Sometimes they play down to their opponent sometimes. I mean, they really do. So only time will tell.
Perfect segue. Utah and Oregon, another big game in the college football playoff landscape. Obviously, I know you had Georgia, but most people think LSU are going to win, so that opens up the 4th spot, and Utah's sitting at 5 right now. They got to have a impressive performance in that Pac-12 championship game. How do you guys think this is going to square on?
Yeah, so I haven't been following Oregon. I know Utah's been doing really good. Oregon, beginning of the season, I think it was first game, played Auburn, put up a pretty good fight against them, lost. It was a close game. They lost in the end, and since then I've heard they've been doing really good. So I'm going to go with Oregon on this one. They got a really good offense. If their defense steps up, I think they can take the W there.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm with Draws on this one.
I like the upset as well.
I think it should definitely. Two very talented teams. Oregon, the only question I have, I think they definitely actually have the better roster, but they may not be as motivated as Utah, because obviously with 2 losses, they're not really in playoff contention anymore. They had a tough loss to Arizona State on the road 2 weeks ago, I believe, and I just don't know the motivation. I think I'm going to go with Utah, but in a very close game.
See, that's where, like, the motivation part, they know that they have nothing to lose at this point, because if they're not playoff contenders, they're taking people down with them. So I feel like, well, it may not be, it's just a different motivation. They still have it, but they're just going to try to take down whoever they can with them. They're going to go down.
I'm going to have to agree with Boeskin on this one, though. I think Utah, being a program that's not really known for being top 5 in the football world, I think if they win this game and try and clinch that number 4 spot, it's going to put them on the map, kind of use it as a recruiting tool.
Yeah.
Definitely going to get Utah known around the high school football world.
Yeah.
For sure, but I wasn't disagreeing. I'm just saying that Oregon still has
Mm-hmm.
motivation to play this game. It's not just like a
show.
lost hope type of thing.
All right, we got 2 more championship games. Let's do the ACC championship game. That's not really the best game. Clemson favored big over Virginia this week. I mean.
So Clemson, Virginia. Actually, I watched the Virginia Tech Virginia game, which was the winner of that played Clemson, and that was a big game. It just went back and forth. Each team kept scoring, kept pushing it, and Virginia eventually came out with the W on a big offensive play where they sacked the quarterback and got a safety in the end zone. And now that's Clemson UVA going to the ACC championship. Clemson's doing really good, and I think, as Boeskin said, it's going to be a pretty big upset. I mean, pretty big defeat by Clemson.
I would totally count out UVA. I know that I'm kind of the devil's advocate here, just kind of going against what you guys say, but I don't know, UVA with Bronco and everything, I mean, they've been doing really well this year. I know they're ranked 23rd, but I don't know, I wouldn't count them out completely. I think it'll be a good game overall. I think they might shock them in the first half, and then Clemson will start to pull away towards the end just because UVA just doesn't have that depth of talent as Clemson does.
Yeah, I really have to agree with Ian. I think that I feel like Clemson will come out with a victory in the end, but I feel like Virginia, actually this has been the largest spread in conference championship history, so Clemson's the largest favorite ever in conference championship history. And I think Virginia, early to start the game, is going to feel a little disrespected, kind of come out and maybe have a little more energy than Clemson from the start, but then I think the talent takes over and Clemson gets the go.
And that brings back the thing you brought in with Oregon, the motivation part. You're going down, you're not getting in the college playoffs, so kick someone else out too. Don't let them get in there as well.
Absolutely. They're definitely going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder this week. With that type of disrespect that they're getting from the public about their game versus their tough opponent, I don't think they're going to take that very well. They're going to be playing a different type of energy.
Yeah, the UVA Virginia Tech game, UVA's D-line looked really solid, and they were stopping the run game, but Trevor Lawrence and Justin Ross, that guy can throw and that guy can catch, so that's going to be a big combo for them this week.
Yeah, I think that if Virginia wants to win the game, they're definitely going to have to – they have a strong ground offense, and they're definitely going to have to use that to their advantage, kind of keep the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands as much as possible and stay on offense and give that defense some rest on the side if they want to pull off this big upset. Lastly, our guy, Chase Young at Ohio State, they'll be taking on Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship. What do you guys think about that one?
Yeah, so I think undoubtedly through this table we might be all Ohio State. Chase Young
all the way.
That man's a bull. I think he's at 16.5 sacks on the season. Probably going to go number 1 in the draft. That guy's an animal, and I think he's going to clutch up on defense.
Yeah, I got to go with Ohio State in this one. I think Wisconsin, obviously another team that has a very strong ground game, and if they want to win, they're going to have to use that, just like Virginia, kind of similar case, because Justin Fields and Chris Olave, wide receiver at Ohio State, are going to be – they've just been making big plays recently in these big games. Ohio State played very well versus Penn State, and last week versus Michigan, and Justin Fields and Chris Olave have been making all the plays recently, and I think they'll continue to do that and secure the number 1 seed in the play.
Yeah, I got to take Ohio State as well, but as well as that, you can't count out Wisconsin again. Jonathan Taylor, great running back. You never know what he's going to come for. I believe Chase Young can stop him in their line and their defense, but you never know. They're going to put up a fight.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, if he wants his Badgers to pull off the upset, he's going to have an absolutely huge game, and they're going to have to kind of neutralize Chase Young, maybe run at him or something.
You talk about the Jonathan Taylor on the Wisconsin running back side. You can't forget J.K. Dobbins.
Yep, exactly.
That man against Michigan just ran and ran and ran. He looked like he was untackleable, and if he can get the ball on the ground and just find an open slot, he can run forever. The guy's so fast.
Again, Wisconsin obviously has a pretty strong defensive line too, so I feel like they're going to not use Dobbins as much this game and try and focus on the spread attack. But, of course, it's great to have multiple weapons like Olave and Dobbins because when you're not one-dimensional, obviously, it's going to help out your football team. So that's pretty much it in college football this week. Let's talk about some NCAA basketball now.
Hold on, before you mention that, we want to bring back to McFarland from Maryland, who's leaving Maryland and in the NFL draft. How do we think that's going to go for him?
You know, I'm not so sure. Like, I can respect what he's doing and everything, but I think it would be smart for him to take another year in college because in his first season, he didn't rush for too many yards. Like, this is his first season in college where he's rushed over for 1,000 yards. I think I'd love to see him play another year of college football and really dominate before going into the NFL, just to really take some more time to, get bigger, get faster, get stronger, and really get a feel for the game where he can be dominant into his level and then go to the next level. But I wish him luck in his journey.
Yeah, I got to agree with Ian as well. I think it would have been smarter if he took another year. Maryland kind of uses a lot of running backs. He didn't put up the greatest numbers in the world. He obviously had pretty solid stats this year, but I think if he just took that one more year, he could have developed into a superstar, maybe first or second round talent. But now I think he'll be in the later rounds, but I'm sure he'll show out once he gets his opportunity.
He's definitely got potential, though.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of
fast as
potential.
lightning. I mean, any NFL team would be
Lucky
happy
to have
to have
him.
him
Exactly.
on their roster.
Yeah, I think since, like what Cayden said, not a first or second round pick, but he's definitely going to be someone that they see potential in, and they're going to pick him up and throw him in the practice squad and let him work his way through the ranks. That guy, if you put him on a field, he's going to run, and he's going to show whoever gets him, even if he's a late round draft pick, he's going to show his talent.
All right, now we can move on to NCAA basketball. A couple big games this week, and especially we want to shout out our guy Justin Moore dropping his career high this week. I believe it was versus LaSalle. I was checking out the game.
The Explorers.
He was playing really well. Obviously, we're very proud of him. He's off to a great start this season. You guys want to talk a little bit about Justin?
Yeah, 25 points in that game. He couldn't be stopped. The few plays I watched, he had, I believe, 3 good drives, a jump shot. He's doing well. They're doing well. Him and Robinson Earl, 2 freshmen. Robinson Earl from IMG. They're doing great over there.
Yeah, as a freshman, just coming out and putting up 25 points, that's a statement. And he's just continuing to do at Villanova what he did here. He was unstoppable here, and when I looked at him on the court on Villanova, he just looked unstoppable. His movement was quick, his shots were on point, everything was looking good for him.
I'm excited to see where he takes this, where he builds off of this. This is just if he can stay consistent after this, I feel like that's going to show a lot of potential to kind of shock the college basketball world.
Yeah, got to agree with Froble. 25 points this early in the season. Can't wait to see what he does later.
Yeah. And he's had a few down spots, but he's averaging around 12, 13 a game. So that 25 is going to give him a big push. He's going to keep going, I have a feeling.
Yeah, Justin Moore, obviously. I feel like he's kind of, when he plays well, Villanova plays well. And in the 2 games Villanova lost, he didn't play his best, and Villanova kind of struggled, and I feel like he's kind of been a spark plug for them. When he's doing well, it seems to be the team is doing well.
Yeah, and another freshman in college basketball, Jameer Young for Charlotte.
Yep.
I know they played Wake Forest, and they had the upset
Wake Forest
there.
early, that was awesome.
I don't know how many points he's getting a game, but I know he's consistently starting as a freshman. That's pretty good for him.
I believe he was 20-plus that game against Wake Forest. Played well. He defended the Wake Forest point guard, I believe his name's Childress, very well. They went on. I believe they won that game in OT. I know they won. It was forced OT, right? Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I watched that whole game with my dad. It was awesome.
He was actually conference player of the week in his conference a couple weeks ago. So a couple other NCAA basketball games this week. Duke and Michigan State had a pretty good game. Duke really dominated, impressed me a lot, especially after that loss last week to SF Austin. Did any of you guys check out that game?
Yeah, I didn't see the actual game live, but I saw the highlights because as soon as I saw FS Austin won, I had to check out what happened. They just played with some heart. They came out and they punched Duke in the face, and they didn't know how to handle it. Duke, a big program. I think they're going to bounce back pretty easily, but that was definitely a shock out there.
Yeah, big thing for them that game was Michigan State's big man, Tillman. He got into foul trouble early, so then they just picked on him. They went right into Vernon Carey every single time. He had a lot of points that game, played very well.
Yeah, obviously Duke had awesome defense that game. I believe they had over 10 blocks, and they had a bunch of steals, a bunch of points off turnovers. That's something I was really impressed by in Duke's their defense. Something that stepped up in that game.
And talk about Delaware. How about Delaware? Undefeated this year. Nate Darling from DeMatha, Ryan Allen from DeMatha, both playing awesome. Delaware is doing great this year. I haven't heard much. Have you guys heard anything?
No, personally, I haven't heard anything, but undefeated's a big statement.
Yeah.
Ryan Allen, I know, great player. He's probably cooking up down there, and Delaware going undefeated, they're going to have some attention coming to them.
I believe it's actually the first time in history that they've gone this far undefeated, 8-0 or 9-0. It's a big jump for them.
Yeah, I haven't been able to check any other their games out, but I've just heard nothing but good things about the 2 DeMatha guys over there. They represent DeMatha very well, and we're very proud of them they're leading Delaware to this undefeated season.
And talk about in our hometown team, Maryland. Number 3.
Yes, sir.
Just came off of winning Notre Dame. That was a big game for them. And not necessarily DeMatha, but some WCAC talent, Anthony Cowan Jr., cooking up over there.
Mm-hmm. Doing very well. They got great defense. Sticks as well from Maryland area, not from WCAC, but Mount St. Joseph's kid, Daryl Morcell, Mount St. Joe's. Both played well. Sticks had 15 and 16 boards. He played very well. Who else played well? Morcell. He's been leading the team well. He's been dominating, in my opinion. He's got great passing, great field vision, or great court vision. Everything's there for him. I expect a big future for him.
Yeah, although Maryland hasn't played like the most impressive schedule thus far, obviously they're just doing their job, unlike a lot of these other big teams that have got upset early. Maryland just doing their job, winning every game, and Terps fans have got to be excited. Number 3, that's just awesome.
Yeah, right now, as he said, we're not playing the best competition, but coming up we got a hard schedule. I know Ohio State's coming up soon.
Ohio State, Michigan
number 6.
State, Seton Hall, all top 25 teams, very good teams.
Yeah, so this is kind of like our warm-up, and we're looking good right now, so I'm excited to see what's to come.
Yeah, you definitely we'll be able to see who's real and who's not when these big games start coming up in the college basketball scene.
Let's talk about some DeMatha basketball. Great start to the year, 3-0.
3-0. Their first game was against, I have it here,
Riken.
Mount St. Joe's,
Or Mount
actually.
St. Joe's, yeah.
They
Riken
won
was first
by,
conference.
I'm not too good at math, but that is 19. That's a good first game coming out. I know that was up in Baltimore somewhere, but 3-0 this season. All have been commanding leads. They're looking really strong.
Yep, Loyola, Maryland. It was there was a MIA and a WCAC kind of matchup, kind of like the Big Ten ACC in college, but very good athletic teams up there, very good talent. PVI's looking good this year, I've heard, in the WCAC. Gonzaga got upset to good counsel, so it's wide open.
Yeah,
I know what's going to happen as usual.
As you said, St. Mary's Riken, that was their second game. I was actually there because I was doing one of the broadcasts, and that was commanding. They had a little bit of a sloppy first quarter. I think Coach Jones got on them a little bit, and then it was smooth sailing from there. Jason Moore, actually the freshman, got in at the end when they started pulling away, and that guy is good. It kind of looking like his brother out there.
Yeah, obviously a couple big WCAC games this weekend, as PVI is going to be taking on IMG, and DeMatha will be taking on
Sunrise
Christian. Yep, 9th in the nation.
So I believe for DeMatha, obviously this is going to be a huge game in our season. I believe we're preseason number 6, and this is going to be a number 6 versus 19 matchup. And I think our star players really need to set a tone, get the season started. And the only thing we've been kind of struggling with is slow starts, and I think we just need to take care of that, and then
I think we'll
be ready for
Sunrise
Christian.
Big thing with our team this year, we got a lot of young guys. 3 freshmen made the team. I believe it's 2 sophomores, maybe 3. We got a couple floaters coming from JV
Tyree.
Tyree, and Aaron Roberson, who's also Jarrell's twin brother. They're very good. They're going to have to step up. E and Donovan at the point guard and shooting guard position, they're going to have to get after it on defense, as they've been doing, to keep teams to 18 and 12 at halftime. We've been playing great defense. That offense has got to jump start, and I believe it will.
Yeah, I believe Jacoy Roberson, he actually got in a lot against St. Mary's Riken. They were running the court, so obviously the point guards get a little tired, and he stepped up and played a big role in that game.
Yeah, obviously, and guys like Hunter and Earl are going to be leading the show, and they got to get the offense started.
Yeah, and actually, one player that I just thought of that actually played really good against St. Mary's Riken was Will Reynolds. You don't hear about him a lot. He's a junior. He's not really a big name, but he played, and he was amazing. He was driving to the hole. He's kind of small, so he can get through those little gaps, and he was putting up some layups, and he wasn't really missing.
Yeah, he's got a great heart. That's the big thing about him. He doesn't have the best jumper. He's got a great heart. He plays defense very well. Goes to the boards, gets rebounds, can score, can pass. He can do everything.
The other big WCAC game, Jeremy Roach and PVI are going to be taking on Cayden Springer and Noah Farrakhan at IMG. What do you guys think about that game? Should be an interesting one.
I'm going to have to go with WCAC. I got PVI.
Yeah, well, we saw a little preview of Noah last year when he came here and played us. That guy can play, but PVI over the years has been a powerhouse, and I'm going to say, like, keep the WC at the top at the kind of the conference rankings of hardest, and I think PVI and the WCAC will pull that one off.
Yeah, I got PVI.
I've got IMG. I don't know. I mean, they're just – I can't see PVI doing it. I really can't. I mean, it's not just IMG. It's like the hype around IMG too. I mean, you could start off strong and stuff like that, but, IMG, they're different,
Yeah.
I can't see PVI.
I agree with that,
Yeah.
but I think PVI has a great not a freshman. I believe he's a sophomore now. Doug. He's a Doug McDaniel. He's a point guard. Him and Noah Farrakhan, they're gonna have a great battle. I believe he's gonna win.
I would love to see PVI win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying.
No, I agree.
The
I got
WCAC
you.
Keep it in here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're a strong conference, and let's keep it that way. But yeah, I got.
They're gonna be a hard team to beat. IMG is gonna be very hard to beat.
I hate to be the downer, but I'm going to have to agree with Froble. I think IMG's just got too much talent. I mean, Roach is a great player, but IMG I feel like has the depth advantage over PVI, and I think they're gonna win that game. So
Yeah, what Cayden and Ian were talking about, like IMG, they're kind of known. They'll probably have some fans up here. I know they traveled pretty well last time, but everybody knows IMG. There'll probably be some
It's like the brand thing, you know.
They always got something to say too.
Yeah.
They'll talk to you.
Yeah,
They
but
love the pressure.
as Mike said, they got Doug, a sophomore. Injury happened last year. He stepped up, and he's quick.
Yeah,
he's small.
very good.
I think
Similar to our point guard, Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah. They're going to match up really well when we play them. So it's looking like a good season for them so far.
all right, let's move on to hockey. We'll start in-house with DeMatha hockey. I know they kind of got off to not the greatest start, but they've been bouncing back. Have you guys talked to anyone in the hockey program, and what has the vibe for the hockey
Yeah,
program?
definitely good vibe now. At the beginning of the season, they didn't really know what they were working with. It was kind of the first few games to see what was happening. I talked to John Hilliard, who's a defenseman. Now they're starting to feel their place out. They kind of know who they have. They know their chemistry's kind of getting better, and I believe they're 5-3. They just went up to New York today. Anybody else know anything about them?
Well, I know that in the beginning of the season or preseason, they were a little shaky, but as time went on, you know, you get the chemistry going and all the stuff like you said, and yeah, they're shaping up. And I think that they, as they continue that to kind of learn who they are and their roles on the team, I think they're going to grow into be a championship contender.
Yeah, they had Bullis on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
6-0, right?
5-0, yep.
5-0.
Same thing. But big game. John Hilliard had a goal, senior. Luke Leidig's leading the teams with 5 goals. He's a very great player. They're going to have to show some leadership there.
Yeah,
We need them too, and we need Brandon Matheny on the defense side.
You said Leidig and Matheny and Hilliard, all seniors. They're going to have to step up, show some leadership. I know they got some young guys on the team. So when they show up and they kind of lead the team, I think they're going to play really good this year.
Yeah, I think Ian made another great point. I just kind of want to expand on the chemistry thing. I think they were kind of finding their roles at the beginning of the season. Also had a couple injuries, like Brandon Matheny just getting back, I believe.
Tyler Mercier too.
Yeah. So once those guys are coming back and the team's kind of figures out their role, I think they'll hit their stride. Big tournament this weekend. We wish them the best at that. Hopefully.
Spalding next week as well. Big rival.
A huge
Oh,
game,
yeah.
huge game.
Hope the show after that. I think I might go watch that one.
Oh, for sure. No,
Yeah.
we need a big student section for that one.
Yeah, I-
Everyone to show out to that game.
I think there's going to be a few people there from
Uh-huh.
from DeMatha, and I'm hoping there's going to be
Yeah.
a few from Spalding. So that's going to be a big game. Kind of.
Unfortunately, the game did get moved up to 3:10 from 7 o'clock because Spalding has an event that night. But I'm still hoping we'll
Yeah.
get
Still-
over there by at
I'm
least
still
the
sure
second period.
we'll have a lot of people.
Might have to
of course.
contact HPD and get a little police escort going over there.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's talk some baseball. We obviously just had Donovan Teal commit. Obviously, we play baseball. What do you have to say about Donovan?
Yeah, so Donovan, really quick action player. He's really fast. Sturdy contact with the ball, line drives. Like right now we're inside, so you can't really do too much. But every time I see him in the cage, line drives to the back of the net. Hard worker. He earned that one.
Yeah, great arm from the outfield. Great player all around. Very quick, as you said. Congrats to Donovan on that one. USC Aiken.
Yeah, obviously he's a very hard-working guy. He's been putting in the work this offseason. We're super proud of him. Excited to see what he can do at USC Aiken. Let's talk a little golf as well, Froble. I know you're trying out for the golf team. I've been
Yes,
hearing you've
yes,
been
I
putting
am.
up some crazy numbers on the course recently, shooting some like 70s, 65s. I hear. Is that true or is that
I heard some
Maybe-
105.
Maybe 68, 69 on 9.
Easy there, easy there. I don't know about all that. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking to try out. I mean, we'll see where it goes, you know. Just got to practice every day and all this stuff. But as far as that goes, though, we're actually looking to have a pretty
Mhm.
solid team this
Yep.
year. It feels like it's going to be like one of the better teams that we've had in a little while, you know. Like we've actually got a good roster.
Joey Graham transferred Dylan Allen from France. Was Tyler playing?
Yeah,
again
if I'm
this
not
year?
wrong, I believe Tyler is a
Tyler
golfer.
Merce,
Yeah,
Lincoln
yeah,
Crosby
he is,
as
yeah.
well. He's the goalie for the hockey team.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know Dylan Allen, great friend right there. That guy's
Absolutely. Yeah, great guy.
great guy. But he transferred from France. I know he got his first offer from JMU recently, and he's really good. He showed me some videos. I know Froble showed him some videos of their swings, and they're really helping each other out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those guys are obviously very super talented at their craft. Joey Graham, McDaniel commit to. I mean, I don't know too much about golf, but it seems like we got a very solid roster this year and should have a shot at.
Yeah,
the
I know
WCC.
Joey like a little more personally. I went to middle school with him, and I know he's been like recently over the summer competing in some junior PGA tournaments, which is really big for him. And he committed this year, so we're looking for a great senior season out of him.
Good luck to the golf team. Good luck to us, the baseball team, obviously.
Yeah.
All sports around DeMatha. Basketball team, keep it going. Hockey team, keep it going.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's DM Stag Report. We'll see you guys soon in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed.